Invest in yourself. I'm Larry Goins. This is Bill, the man, the legend, the myth, Fairman from Carolina Hard Money. Right?
Yeah.
Better known as Wendy's brother. That's right. Many of you know Wendy Sweet, and this is Billy Sweet, Fairman.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So now this is Bill Fairman from CarolinaHardMoney.com, and they're in our office right down the hall. They do hard money and transactional funding. They do transactional funding nationwide. They do hard money lending. Where do you do hard money lending?
North and South Carolina primarily. We can do some deals in the surrounding states if it's the right deal, but we feel very comfortable underwriting properties in our backyard, which is North and South Carolina. We've been here for a long time, and we're just very comfortable in that market.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, Bill, why don't you tell us a little bit about what a person needs to do to get ready to be able to provide that proof of funds or whatever it is they need?
Sure, and this couldn't be a better topic for today. Today I got 2 emails. Well, actually, on this particular subject. Actually, one was a phone call, one was an email. I've got a guy that says, I need to close on the 30th of June. I've never spoken to him before. Do you think that's going to be possible?
That's 6 days. You can do that.
Oh, yeah, especially with the week of the 4th coming up. And anyway, it's very, very important to get your ducks in a row from the beginning. When was your HUD event? Was that in April?
Okay.
Okay. So in April, I had contact with another client that started with us. The first thing I said to him was, go ahead and fill out an application. Let's get you pre-approved, and then we can move from there. So within a couple of days, the deal, he was using some other type of funds and thanked me for my time. A month later, I get another email from him. Okay, I'm looking at some properties. I'd like to get the ball rolling on this thing. First thing I said again, please fill out an application. Let's get you pre-approved, because a lot of things will happen at the last minute. So here, I found this great deal. I got to move on it quickly. Have you filled out an application like I asked? No. So this is why it's very important. It's very easy to get pre-approved from not just me, any other vendor. The importance is you don't need the stress, number one, to scramble for financing. Even if you have a couple of private lenders in your back pocket that are providing funds for you, the typical private lender does not have a bottomless pit of cash.
That's right.
When opportunities come along, money to lend to you, you need to have a backup from at least another hard money. Like I said, we typically just lend in North and South Carolina, so there's tons of different private and hard.
That's right.
What you have to get pre-approved with them. I know I mentioned this a few webinars ago. Even if you have, you need to have in your other options, because again, you're going to miss out on opportunities that come up if all your cash is tied up in another deal. You have to wait for it to sell or whatever.
That's true. For 1 second.
Sure.
I know you actually have people who borrow hard money, but they're also hard money lenders, and they put up the money for other hard money deals as well. So they're doing both of them at the same time. So they always got their money working, and if they run across a deal, their money's out invested on the street, then they can come to you and say, hey, I got a deal that I'm going to do a fix and flip or whatever. So they play both sides of it.
Absolutely. I probably have 10 or more clients that borrow money from us at the same time they're lending money through us with their IRAs.
Wow.
They're buying properties on their own, and then they're using their self-directed retirement accounts to invest ongoing with our funds. Now, the greatest thing about the real estate, there's so many ways you can invest and still be really well diversified. But I'm a little partial to debt and notes, so that's that's where we stick. But
You want somebody else with you, don't you?
absolutely. One of the things I wanted to mention, there is a checklist for getting pre-approved that Todd has available for you guys to download. Any hard money lender is going to want similar things. So the basics are, do you have the income or the wherewithal to make it going? Have the liquid assets to pay the fees, to get your contractors started. As we know, rarely does anything go wrong in real estate. So usually we don't need a little bit of a buffer or a reserve fund for unexpected expenses.
It never needs more work than we thought it did.
That's right. Or take it longer to finish and sell. So a contingency fund, just those unexpected. And all hard money lenders are going to lend to legal entities. So you already have an LLC or a corporation, you set up individual trust property. You can actually borrow money through your legal entity.
Right.
So those they're going to want to see that they're lending to a legal entity. They're going to want to see that you have funds to pay your closing costs, get your contractor started, have a little bit of reserve, and you have whether you do that through us or any other lender out there, you really need to go ahead and get your funds lined up. What Randolph was talking about with getting that proof of funds letter or that pre-approval, he's absolutely correct that you need to get your pre-approval based on more than just the one house. Now, there's a lot of people with the mindset that if I give them a proof of funds letter for more than what I'm making the offer on, then they're going to say, well, no, you got plenty of money to pay the price that we're asking for. But that's not the point. This is what you're willing to pay for the property. Just because I have a bunch of other money doesn't mean I won't pay any more for it. So
that's right.
Get that mindset completely out.
That's right.
We are going at our company, we're going to pre-approve you based on what, essentially you can afford total, not just for that particular property. So we're going to take that into account. The other thing, if you get a pre-approval from another lender, typically they have, if you have the contingency on the pre-approval letter is, as long as the seller can provide clear title and a general warranty deed, we can close in a certain amount of time.
Right.
Well, if you're buying a bank-owned property, you're not going to get a general warranty deed. It's going to be a special warranty deed. So make sure if that's on your pre-approval, the general warranty deed, that you have your lender put in parentheses, special warranty deed for bank-owned properties, because that's still a marketable title. It's not a big deal.
Right.
It's just if it's bank-owned, it's going to be special. It's not going to be general. And again, why add all this extra stress to your life? Not getting pre-approved, getting lined up. You've got so many other things going on, you might as well get your funds lined up.
I think one thing, too, that we need to point out that Billy's really said it, but without coming out and saying it, is it's a two-step approval process. First, we approve the borrower. Second, we approve the property, or they do.
Right.
The borrower has to be approved first. And I don't care whether if you go to Carolina Hard Money, if you go to another lender, they're going to approve you first, okay? And then you have the ability to go out and look for a property. Then you submit that property to them, and they look at the property, and they're going to qualify that property based on the amount of repairs and the ARV and that sort of thing as well. Am I right?
That's a great point, and thank you for reminding me. But yes, just like us, any other lender, they're going to approve the borrower, then they're going to approve the property. In any case, even the banks. Now, a bank, they're going to have much lower rates, much higher LTVs if you can qualify for a bank loan. Their focus is more on the borrower, where hard money lenders, typically their focus is more on the underlying asset, which is the property. Lenders like us, we kind of give equal weight to both. I can tell you from personal experience that no lender out there wants the property. If they did, they'd just be out making offers themselves. They don't need to lend the money. They just go out and buy the property.
Exactly that.
So there are a few people that know this information for, if we don't pay, you'll just take the property back. No lender wants the property. Again, if they wanted to compete in that space, they'd just be out making offers and be in competition for you. Okay, so Larry is correct. The process is two-step. You need to get pre-qualified because there's going to be a period of time where you have to order an appraisal, you have to order title work, and all that comes in when you identify a property or you get an offer accepted and you're ready to go. You want to have all the other stuff out of the way, so all you're concentrating on now is getting the property approved.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And you mentioned something about banks have lower interest rate, higher LTV, but you got to remember, when you're buying properties, and they're fix and flip properties or rehab properties, fix and turn around and rent out, a bank is not going to give you a loan on that property because banks want a good, clean appraisal with no what's called deferred maintenance. And every property we buy has deferred maintenance, right? That's true. Now, Billy, how would somebody reach you if they have questions or want to lend money or get in your fund or or borrow money or whatever?
Well, we can be reached by phone at area code 803-831-2262. The best way to reach us, though, is through our website, carolinahardmoney.com. And then our email address is info@carolinahardmoney.com.
That's a great domain.
Isn't it?
I like that.
Larry and I have had this conversation
recently.
He's the one that actually had that domain and gave it to us. And the reason I was so happy with the domain, and I'm going to get off topic here just slightly, when you're doing Google searches, you want your domain or your business name to be as much of the search phrase as possible. And Carolina Hard Money is what we do and where we do it. And you can't get any more key phrase than that. So it's been it's done very well for us. We're actually, if you Google us, we're top in North and South Carolina for hard money lenders. We're first on each page. So
that's awesome. See, Billy didn't know that. And he was telling me the other day that story right there. And I said, yeah, that's a pretty good domain. Where'd you get that?
It was just there.
I don't know when you got it, somewhere.
But it's worked out great for us. We maintain the space higher than people that are paying to be up that high.
I believe it. And organic is where it's at.
That's right.
That means you get the traffic and you don't have to pay for it.
Yeah, and it's good for your health. Always go organic.
There you go. All right, guys. Billy Fairman, CarolinaHardMoney.com. We'll be right back after these important messages.